Why did you say that it was an unannounced visit?
He says he called, which he did. I didn't answer the phone because I was with my family. I was preparing food in the kitchen. Next thing I know, my daughter comes in and says that he's outside. I said, well, can you just ask him to leave? Because this is really not a good day. It was my son's birthday, and my sister had a birthday previously that week, so I was giving them a brunch. I had 2 elderly people there, my mother-in-law and my mother. My mother had a bout with COVID when it first started. I almost lost my mother. So there's no way I want someone there that's unannounced, unmasked, and I don't know where you are in COVID.
Okay, so Mr. Jakes, even if you say you gave her notice, she says you didn't, was it a big deal to then say, fine, I'll come back later? Why?
I had to leave. Monday, I was leaving to go bury my mother.
But I get this feeling that it's got to be more than that, because
Well,
why escalate to the point where you then say you have to move out?
Well, when we finished doing the measurements, we closed up everything and was walking out. Linda came out the door with her hands on her hip, and it was on. What are you doing here? You got to get... She gave me 3 minutes, we'd have been out the front.
Ms. McDonald, did Mr. Jakes have a pattern of just coming by? Why this one time did it upset you so much?
Because it was during the height of COVID. My son, whose birthday it was that day, is immunocompromised. He was born at 5.5 months. He's had 8 different brain surgeries. He has a VP shunt in his head that he's gonna have for the rest of his life. My mother just got over COVID in December. This was in February. I also have breast cancer.
Okay, I see. So you ask him to leave, y'all get into a fight. Did you say, okay, at this point, you need to move?
What I told her, I said, well, Larry will come back over here tomorrow. I got to go bury my mother tomorrow. I'm gone. She turned and told me, ain't nobody coming over here nowhere. I'm giving a party for myself tomorrow. Ain't nobody coming. I said, what do you mean? I can't have my handyman come fix my gate? That's what I said, get out. So Larry like, man, let's go. She followed me through the front. When I get to the curve, Linda's all over me. When I told her she had to go, I said, look, you've been here too long. You telling me my handyman can't fix my gate? You've been here too long. Time for you to go. You think this is your house. Are you going to evict me? She blew up. And so I'm walking to the curb, and she pushed me. And I told her, don't put your hands on me no more. And then her daughter asked, Spuddy, what's going on? And I said, ask your mother. Ira come down. Linda, quit screaming. What are you doing? Stop it. He tried to stop it. So I said, man, I'm out of here.
At some point, you all gave her notice to vacate.
We did.
And she didn't actually vacate until September.
Correct.
And you say that the defendants stopped paying rent after May 31st.
That's correct.
Why?
She asked me not to give her any more rent.
Did she give you a reason for saying that?
She said hold on to it because her attorney told her not to accept any more rent.
Ms. Shakes?
I told her to put it in an escrow account until they left.
And this is what you were advised?
Yes.
And that includes the utilities as
No.
well? Okay, so why didn't you pay utilities?
I didn't have any access to make any payment arrangements. The accounts were in their names.
How are you paying
I would just go and put money on it. I would just go pay on it.
So why didn't you do that?
Because at the time I was unemployed and I had to find some place to live.
You were unemployed before he asked you to move?
Yes.
And you weren't paying utilities then?
No.
And you were fine with it?
She even went with me a few times to different churches to try and get utilities paid. I finally found a place where I could get the utilities paid.
Let's talk about the dishwasher. You took the dishwasher because you said you bought it.
I bought it.
Why did you buy a dishwasher?
Because the first one that was in the house was already used. It went out. Mr. Jakes went out and bought another used one and put that one in the house. That one went out. Before I bought the last dishwasher, I let Renee know that me and my boys were putting money together to buy a dishwasher. My oldest son went to IKEA to buy a dishwasher. He put it in his car, brought it home, and my boys put the dishwasher in.
Are you aware of what your lease says? That you have to let your landlords know when something like a dishwasher goes out?
I did.
And your response was?
I have no recollection of that.
She did. We would have been more than happy to let her do it if she would have said it.
Judge Juarez?
I'm confused and frankly a little saddened that this long-term good relationship seemed to have soured so quickly, in this one very difficult moment.
Yes.
Something that you wrote in your complaint, Ms. Jakes, which I may be reading a little bit too much into, but I want to ask you about it. You said that Linda called you after this kind of blow up. Is that true, Ms. Jakes?
She called me, yes.
And she kind of tried to talk to you about what had happened.
She was crying hysterically and said she didn't want to be evicted over this. It was just an argument.